Beep, 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 beep. Hello. Right, okay, what we got now? Okay. So the other day we did, various wibbling nonsense going on with horses, right? So today we're going to do cycling, right? British cycling has, gone women and men. Sorry, but, that's it. They made an open category. I've got a problem with that too. Right? Okay? No, there are only men and women. We're not doing this. We're not doing it. Okay? Your shonky religion is not getting rights that others don't. And not disrupting what we do with your shonky religion. Off you go, right? So we've had British cycling go, yeah, have this. And you can expect, as we would normally expect, the usual suspects have gone particularly bonkers. Mermaids. Oh, God! With a glorious community note added. We love community notes, right? So mermaids, go and have a look. And the people that are going, oh, it's awful, isn't it? Are getting ratioed off the planet on Twitter. It's fantastic. But that's not the reason that I'm speaking to you today. I'm speaking to you today because there's one particular response that I think it's important as many people as possible know about, which comes from a person called Emily, right? Who I believe is about 6'3", right? A person called Emily, who's a bloke, right? Okay? And Emily is very unhappy indeed. Now, the only Emily, I don't think I've ever met an Emily, in all my life. The only Emily I know is the Emily who was the friend of Puss. Now, some of you will remember, years ago, there was a character on TV called Puss. It was great for kids. It was about 5 minutes long. And they had, woodpecker bookends and things. It was fantastic. We had these little mice, right? And they'd mend things. So it was all about fixing things. And we will fix it. We will mend it. We will make it like brand new. And then there was this wonderful woodpecker called Professor Yaffle. That's how it used to go. And it would always say, at the end of the introduction to the programme, Puss was a happy cat because Emily loved him. Right? So I think I'm going to entitle this particular diatribe written by Emily and this video Bag Pussy. Because Baggy Pussy. Because Emily had one. No, I can't do that. No, it's too cruel. Too cruel. I might. So I'm going to read it to you. Right? So have a look and see. Right, here we go. British Cycling has just banned us from racing. No, they haven't. No, they haven't. No, they haven't banned you from racing at all. They said if you want to race, you race in the category to do with your sex, which is absolutely the priority and not gender identity. This was to be announced at 11 a.m. today, but I'm done with this whole conversation being on their terms and being controlled by them. This is what happens when you take power away from LARPing men, okay, who have no standards, right, who have no principles, and who essentially are just failures, right? They have no authority to control this conversation anyway. Yeah, they do. They do. They have no authority to control this conversation anymore. Does it surprise me that the same organisation, funded directly by a state that ships vulnerable refugees to Rwanda, violently clamps down on any political sense that they disapprove of, or starves their people? No, of course it doesn't. Right, so what, Emily is saying here is, our fate is the same of, first of all, vulnerable refugees. I presume by vulnerable refugees, she means the economic migrants fleeing brie and onions from France, right? And then she says, or violently clamps down on any political dissent. She means the violence that means you pick up arse pipes sat in the road protesting against nonsense, right? And then finally, or starves their people. I think you're confusing the UK with Stalin, love. Come on, Emily, you can do better. Put your back into it. Not unsubstantial back, right? The same organisation with actively homophobic coaches. Oh, really? Okay. Do they mean homophobic coaches as in people or as in containers that travel people? What do they mean? Homophobic coaches. The National Express homophobic coach. Get on, you fag. That's what the sign would say. Poofters at the end. This is absolutely insane. It's insane. It's the ramblings and dribblings of an insane man. Okay. The same organisation with actively homophobic coaches who encouraged eating disorders and did nothing about any bullying between its riders. What? You know, this is the toxic parent, folks. Right here. Right here. The toxic parent. So we're starving people, but then we're encouraging eating disorders. How can you have an eating disorder if you're being starved? The eating disorder if you're being starved is you've got no food, twat. Right? And did nothing about bullying between its riders. The same organisation where elite riders influence their policy when it doesn't fit their entitled and narrow worldview. What this person means by that entitled and narrow worldview is that you're a bloke and you don't get to race against women. Ta-da! With no ability for nuance. There's no nuance. Cock and balls, fanny, large gametes, small gametes. Stronger females, men. We organise our society around sex. We don't organise it around gender identity. You know why? Because gender identity doesn't exist. Okay? You want to cross-dress? Feel free. You want to do it on a bike? I don't fucking care. Careful with the tucking, though. If you are going to do it on a bike. Yep. Journalists, with no ability to influence or any doubt to question the view that they've been told since birth. Journalists have been circling like vultures at a corpse for the last few days, gagging at the opportunity for a story or comment. They're not very literate, are they? Can you imagine the idea that a vulture gags when it sees a corpse? A vulture doesn't gag when it sees a corpse. It orders a bottle of wine and gets the life ready. British Cycling is a failed organisation. That's what it looks like to me. It looks like an organisation that's succeeding perfectly. It's a failed organisation. The racing scene is dying under your watch. Is it? Why? What? Because it won't let men race with women? And all you do is take money from petrochemical companies and engage in culture wars. This is real. This is real. Wait, I want to read that again. You don't care about making sport more diverse. What British Cycling is a failed order. The racing scene is dying under your watch. Dying! It's dying, I tell you, under your watch. And all you do is take money from petrochemical companies and engage in culture wars. You don't care about making sport more diverse. We don't care about men who dress as women who think they can race against women because they can't beat the men. Off you pop, you twat, right? You want to make yourself look better and you're even failing at that. No, they aren't failing at that at all. I think right now they're looking fairly shiny. But they haven't got it quite right because we need to get them out of all levels, right? They haven't got it quite right, but they're looking shiny to some of us right now. Most of us, Emily. Cycling is still one of the whitest, straightest sports out there and you couldn't care less. Here we go. If you can't get with a transphobia, accuse them of being racist. Emily, you power and oppression grievance merchant. I can only say that for somebody, obviously as somebody who rides bike, then you obviously ride a unicycle because you've only got one point of view, you lunatic. This is a violent act. This is a violent act. Oh gosh. We're going to stick you on the front line in Ukraine until you understand what violence is. Have you got it yet, Emily? Yes, yes. Where's my bike? This is a violent act. What a nutter. When the government is expressing admiration towards Ron DeSantis' fascist state. Hi, guy. What? You really are a hyperbolic Wibble goat. Do you know that? Oh, that's so silly. This is just unreal, isn't it? This is a violent act where the government is expressing admiration towards Ron DeSantis' fascist state, which kidnaps children. What? Ron DeSantis? Boko Haram. Get stuffed, Emily. Right? Which kidnaps children and is itching to pass legislation to ban us from public life. Nobody cares what you wear. Just get on with it. It's when you start interfering with sports, you know, and interfering with telling teachers they should be teaching gender identity, ideology, queer theory and critical race theory, because you're about all three, aren't you, Emily? Otherwise you wouldn't have mentioned the fact that you think they're also racist. We know what you are. You're a power and oppression, toxic parent walla, and now you've been seen for exactly that. Nothing you ever say will be taken seriously again. You can now quietly fade into the background. Ta-da! Go get a job, you know. Do you want fries with that? That's not to disparage people who serve fries. Right, okay. Bans from sports is how it starts. You haven't been banned. Look at what is going on in America. It starts with sports bans, then youth and general healthcare, and then bans from public life through bathroom bans. No, you just use the facilities that are in line with your sex. Right? Because there's only, immutable sex, male and female. We don't care about your gender identity because it's a batty belief system. I no more care about that idea that you have, that you can some way transubstantiate into another human being, than I do about the fact that people think that water is turned into wine, and eat me because this is my flesh. Right? I don't care. Believe it by all means. I respect your right to believe whatever you want to believe, but I'm not having it. Right? You start dicking about telling people what they've got to do with their lives because of your crazy belief system, we're going to have a problem. We've got a problem. British Cycling have rose to the challenge of this problem and told you to F off. Good. Right, so it says here, bans from public life through bathroom bans. Right, this next line is just unreal. Just look at the situation, who is on your side. When literal Nazis, conspiracy theorists, and those who want our eradication on your side, surely that should give you pause. I've said it before and I'll say it again. They are what they accuse you of. This is rabid conspiracy theory. Obviously unwell. We're going to put you in a home. I agree that there needs to be a nuanced policy discussion. No, it doesn't. And continue to conduct research. No, it doesn't. It's male and female. What's the problem? Right, I'm not spending any more money. That's it. No more public money on any of this crap, okay? Trans healthcare. What essentially is putting wrong botched bloody operations or maintaining a lie for the rest of somebody's life on the NHS's bloody dollar. You're not doing it. Research isn't being viewed critically, or any discussion about the relevance of the data to specific reports. By critically, I mean critical social justice. Any discussion is inherently political and driven by bad faith actors. So all these women and me and everybody else that is saying hold fire, the EHRC, major players in other areas of the world, in Scotland, who are saying, in the world, for example, Scotland and Sweden and Norway, everywhere else, saying no, we need a pause. Wales, they're going PSHE out the window. So all of these people are bad actors. When the only person on the stage that's saying everybody else is the bad actor is you. Exit stage left, you nutwit. And try not to fall over the theatre drapes on your way out. Ta-da! I've given my body up to science for the last 2 years, and this data will be out soon. Any discussion is inherently political. And the whole discussion is framed by the media, who are driven through engagement by hate and funding from far-right ultra-capitalists. Where are these far-right ultra-capitalists, and why haven't I got any of their money? Give me your money, you far-right ultra-capitalists. I've given my body up to science for the last 2 years. I don't even know what that means, and I don't want to go there. It sounds like a Cronenberg movie. And this data will be out soon. There is actual relevant data coming soon, and discussions need to be had. Well, not actual relevant data. I know a lot of people will think I'm being dramatic. What? I think a lot of people will think you're completely deranged. A hyperbolic whinge goat. Or overplaying how scary things are. I've no doubt it scares you. Reality can be scary, but you don't get a free pass out of it. Because nobody else does either. Grow up, you big child. I think I'm being overdramatic or overplaying how scary things are at the moment. I'm having to consider an exit plan from this terrible island. Well, good. Off you go. Thanks very much. So long. Thanks for the fish. I don't want you to go. I want you to stay and say I got it wrong. I want you to stay and live as life as who you are, not this nonsense avatar you've made up. I have friends getting right, so I have to exit this from this terrible island. Listen, we can crowdfund you probably 1,500 quid, Would that be enough to get you started? Iran's nice. Any surgery you need, you can get done on the state. Because, they like to, trans the gay away, don't they? I know a lot of people who think I'm being dramatic or overplaying how scary things are at the moment. I'm having to consider an exit plan from this terrible island. And figure out at what point enough is enough. Right, you've just accused this island of being genocidal, right, of starving its own people, of deporting refugees and sending them over to Rwanda as if they're dropped from a plane in a parachute, right? You've also said that everybody in the world is a bad actor because they won't recognise your fantasy, and you're still waiting to see when enough is enough? I'm calling your calling your bluff, Emily, right? We'll raise it, I promise you. Right, it'll say, Emily, because Puss loved him, right? Crowdfunder, one-way ticket to Iran or Iraq, yeah, because you'll like them, because they love transing, right? You'll love them. We'll crowdfund for you, enough for you to get a first month in your flat, so I reckon about $4,000, right? And we'll all put you on the plane and then we'll come and wave. So you can leave now. We'll help you. All you've got to do is ask. Reach out, and we'll crowdfund the $4,000 for you, so that you can leave this terrible island. You unbelievably hateful creature. I have friends getting hate crimed all the time, and my reality is that I can't look ahead to the future or make plans because I don't know if I'll be allowed to live that long. What? Who's stopping you from living? You are. You are. Right? Do you have any idea what that does to someone psychologically? Yes, I understand exactly what lying to yourself about who you are does to someone. Because many gay men did it, particularly my age, for a very long time. And the damage is unbelievable. And it stays with you. And that's what you are doing. You are damaging yourself by allowing yourself to live in unreality. Do you have any idea what it does to someone's like to constantly see your existence being put up for debate? You need to talk to some older gay men, kid. And the other side openly calling for our eradication. Nobody's called for your eradication. I want to eradicate gender dysphoria, as they call it, or whatever distress causes people to end up like you. You don't? What a strange way to behave. You don't want to end a crippling psychological condition. Right, okay. There's nothing about you that's moral, is there? Is the washing's going? I'm sorry about that, but I have things to do and I need to do things on time. Right, so let's finish this, right? I don't even know if I want to race in my bike anymore. The danger and everything that would come with racing makes it a pretty hard thing to justify to myself. I don't care. But you have no right on telling me when I'm done. No, we do. You're done. Right? Go race with the men. You're not done. Go race with the men. Go on, you can do it. You can do it. Yep. This is my decision and mine alone. Well, if it's your decision and yours alone, why are you so upset? Yeah, I might be speaking strongly at the moment. No, you're not. You're speaking like an utter lunatic. But this is my reality right now. It is literally a fight for survival for me and my family at the moment. I hope the media have fun cherry picking quotes from this and making me look hysterical. I did. Thank you so much. I didn't have to cherry pick. The whole thing's insane. Listen to me, Emily. Okay? I don't wish you any harm. Emily? You're probably a person I could sit down and have a beer with. Yep. And we'd be fine. We'd get on. We'd have a bit of a laugh, It's not like we'd be, all-time buddies and all that crap, but we'd have a laugh. Emily, you're hurting yourself. Come back to reality. Come back to reality. Come back to reality and deal with whatever it is you have to deal with. Because what you are doing is setting yourself up as a victim. And if you allow that mantle of victimhood to settle on your shoulders for the rest of your life, will you pay the price? Honestly, Emily. Come back to reality. It's time. It's over. It's over. I'll see you later, folks. And Emily loved him. The fluffy old stuffed cat. Bad Puss. See you, folks.